Hi Tenno, welcome to my channel. Are you lost in the endless systems in Warframe? Are you a beginner or someone who's just getting back into Warframe, unsure of what to do? In this video, we're going to talk about player progression in Warframe and what to aim for next. In Warframe, there is never a clear-cut way of doing this, and in fact there are many ways to achieve power and progression. I have divided the video into several chunks that makes the most sense to me in terms of progression. Timestamps are below so you can jump there. Let's get started. The game starts off with War's Prize and teaches you the basics of the game. After finishing that quest, you are given two choices to play, either in the Origin system or Duviri's Paradox. There is no right or wrong answer here. Eventually you will need to play both sections, with Duviri being more of a tangent than a side quest. It is worth noting from a story perspective that it may become more confusing for some players if they go down the route of Duviri instead of the Origin system. Completing Duviri do have their perks though. It gives you access to the Circuit, which is a game mode that allows you to unlock more Warframes, and the Duviri game mode that allows you to unlock Kullevo, which is a good Warframe to start with. My personal preference is to do the Duviri quest as a side and continue with the Origin system. Many players find immediately after completing War's Prize to be quite overwhelming. I would suggest right from the beginning to complete the star chart. Complete the nodes on Earth, focusing on the objectives of the junctions. The junctions, when you complete them, allow you to move on to new planets. You will be introduced to Nightwave, Warframe's Battle Pass-like system. There are weekly missions, some that can be completed even as a beginner. Nightwave rewards you slots that can increase the size of your inventory, either your weapons or your Warframe. You can also gain resources from Nightwave called creds. These creds can be used to purchase aura mods. You can also use creds to purchase Orokin catalysts and reactors, also known as potatoes. These catalysts and reactors are used to increase the mod capacity of your weapon and Warframe. During the early game, you will want to join a clan as well. Look for a clan that is friendly to beginners in the recruiting chat. By joining a clan, you gain access to several Warframes that are really useful for beginners. It gives you access to Volt, one of the starter frames, but also Wukong and Neza, two frames that are durable, tanky and useful for beginners. Clans also give you access to Dragon Keys, more on that in this section later. As you complete missions on the star chart, you will gain Void Relics. You can open these Void Relics by playing Void Fissure missions to gain the rewards inside. During a Void Fissure mission, you are required to collect reactants. When you complete the mission with enough reactants, you can gain the reward inside. One of the rewards you can get from Void Relics are prime parts. Parts of weapons or Warframes that are slightly better than their original counterpart. One of the rewards you can get is Forma. Forma is an item that allows you to add or change the polarity on your weapons or your Warframe. Mods use half the mod capacity, allowing you to use more mods. Once you've completed all the nodes on a planet, you gain access to nightmare missions. These missions come with a modifier making the mission more challenging, but completing these missions give you nightmare mods that can improve two attributes. Remember we talked about Dragon Keys that you can get from the clan dojo? Well, Dragon Keys can be equipped onto your gear wheel, but each equipped Dragon Key can give you negative side effects. When equipped with a key, any mission on Deimos can spawn a door that looks like this. Use the key and you can collect the mod inside. These mods are corrupted mods that improve a specific attribute, but also causing a negative attribute. Continue completing junctions, clearing nodes, opening up new planets and quests, and you will eventually complete the War Within. The War Within is a major story quest with major spoilers, so if you want to avoid any spoilers, turn away now and come back when you complete the quest. After completing the quest, you will unlock Operator Mode and also gain a Mote Amp. You will also unlock Focus Schools. You will be given the choice for your first school. The first choice does not matter too much as you will eventually max out all 5 of the schools. But my suggestion would be to go with Zariman as your first school. Zariman is very good at energy management with its first ability. Zariman's first ability creates a circle, and any Warframe within that circle gains energy for a certain period of time. If you've passed this in your game and did not choose Zariman, you don't have to worry. Eventually, you will unlock all 5 schools. In the next section, we are looking to gear up for the new war. The new war has several prerequisites before we can start that quest, so in this section we'll be looking towards completing those. Some players may notice a significant difficulty spike around the Neptune-Pluto area, so this section is really to help gear up, improve your weapons, warframe and mods. First up, we would need to have an average Railjack to not have too much difficulties in the new war. You can start the new war with a beginner Railjack, but that will make the quest significantly harder. Aim to have at least Mark II or Sigma Mark III components and armaments. Mark III Sigma components and armaments can be purchased if your clan dojo has a dry dock. Head to the dry dock in your clan dojo and you can buy and equip these components. During this time, you will also be looking towards improving your mods. Improving mods, especially to higher levels, costs large amounts of Endo and credits. Railjack missions is a very good farm for both Endo and credits, especially when you salvage the scraps you gain in missions. We've left off the open worlds, but now it's time to revisit them. We mainly focus on mining. The mining laser from Fortuna is the best, the most stable mining tool, and you can get that relatively easy from Fortuna. The next part is optional, but can be helpful. Open world bounties in Cetus, Fortuna, and Deimos can have lenses as rewards. These lenses provide a passive gain to your focus instead of actively farming. Let's head over to Deimos. You will need to do Deimos bounties until you're rank 3 with the Entrati. At rank 3, you will gain the blueprints for the components to build your Necramech. Complete Isovault missions for Mother and you can gain the blueprints for the Void Rig or Bone Widow Necramech. Also at rank 3 with the Entrati, you unlock the Helminth. The Helminth has the ability to subsume Warframes and replace Warframe abilities with those of other Warframes or even unique abilities. This subsumed ability would replace one of your current ability. Upgrading mods cost a lot of credits, and at this point Index is one of the best credit farms that is available for you. You can find Index in Neptune. There is a small entry fee, but the highest level of Index gives a return of 200,000 credits. Use it with a credit booster to double that amount. Do not forget about Syndicates. Pledge to a syndicate of your choice, and you can passively gain standing just by doing missions up to your daily limit. You can use the standing for mods, especially Augment mods, that change or improve the way your Warframe plays. Baro is a trader who comes every 2 weeks to a certain relay with this symbol. Baro trades in purely ducats that you can obtain by selling prime items. Baro bring many items, but the key thing is primed mods. Primed mods are an upgraded version of base mods with higher attributes. Each appearance, Baro brings random mods, so keep checking every 2 weeks. Now that you have a Railjack and a Necramech, you can start the new war. After the new war, you will have a new primary weapon, the Netherrook, that is powerful, and you will also gain a better amp, the Scrocco. The goal after the new war is to finish off the star chart, complete the main quests and the side quests. After the quest Veilbreaker, you can complete Khal's missions weekly, and after 5 weeks of completing his mission, you can use stock, the currency that Khal collects, to buy an Archon shard. The Archon shard is available weekly and is always random and costs 90 stock. Archon shards are powerful upgrades to your frame, with each of the 3 colors giving different buffs to your frame. You can install the shards on your frame and remove it with bile. Tower forward shards provide an even greater bonus. After completing the Angels of Zariman quest, you can gain amp arcanes like the Eternal Onslaught and Eternal Eradicate that allow your operator to do much more damage. The Zariman mission, Void Cascade, is a good source of focus. Each defeated Centurion gives you 2500 focus. Time to go back and focus on the open worlds. You will need to build up standing with Vox Solaris on Fortuna and the Quills on Cetus to gain access to better amps. Amps are always represented with 3 numbers representing 3 parts. Looking at the chart above, the 4 left parts are from Cetus and the 3 right are from Fortuna. So when a 777 amp is mentioned, it means it is built from Clamora, Propa and Cetus. I have left the link below to the Reddit post for this chart. In my opinion, the 77 amp is the most powerful and the easiest to use. Before jumping into Steel Path, you will need to prepare for it. We need good weapons with good mods to deal damage and survive. Some of the best weapons available to you at this time would be the Zariman Incarnon weapons. You can buy the blueprints from Cavallero on Zariman. Incarnon weapons are unique as they come in 2 forms. The base form charges a bar with headshots and can be transformed into its Incarnon form. Next would be Arbitrations. In arbitration missions, you have to destroy the drone and it will drop Vitus Essence. Head to the Arbiters of Hexes in any relay. Use Vitus Essence to purchase Galvanized mods. Galvanized mods have a lower base stat but provide stacking buffs from killing enemies. Sorties is a daily activity of 3 missions with conditions that make them more challenging. The rewards for sorties are random and consist of a source of Endo, but the key thing from sorties is gaining Riven mods. Riven mods are random, so you may get a Riven to a weapon you do not use or own. You can reroll Rivens with Kuva. Liches and Sisters are a type of nemesis boss, and they are a source of very powerful weapons, the Kuva and Tenet weapons. These nemesis bosses can be defeated by using the Requiem mods, and you can find the identity of these mods by defeating the Trolls and Hounds. By equipping the correct mods, you can vanquish the Lich or Sister. Kuva weapons come with their innate element and is significantly stronger than the regular version. You've got the mods, you've got the power, it's time for Steel Path. In Steel Path, the origin system opens up again, but the enemies are significantly more difficult to beat. They have higher health, higher armor, but they also have a higher chance of dropping resources and mods. When you first get into Steel Path, it might seem a lot more challenging. Start with incursions. Incursions are missions in Steel Path that give additional rewards. Incursions tend to be played by more players, so you can party up with other players to conquer Steel Path. During missions in Steel Path, some bosses called acolytes can spawn at certain times. Defeating these acolytes gains you steel essence as well as arcanes. These are powerful upgrades to your kit. Steel Path incursions always give you an additional 5 steel essence. Head to Teshin and you can spend your steel essence, especially on primary and secondary adapters. These adapters allow you to use arcanes into your weapons, increasing their power significantly. Look out for arcanes dropped by the acolytes. Once you have several arcanes and are comfortable with Steel Path, the next step would be to do Steel Path circuit. This increased challenge allow you to be rewarded with Incarnon weapons. Incarnon weapons are on a weekly rotation and can transform your old weapons into powerful ones. This is a demonstration of the Torrid Incarnon in the index, and watch it melt its enemies. So you mastered the Steel Path and have an arsenal of Incarnon weapons. It seems like you are in the endgame, but Warframe doesn't have a true endgame. In this section, I'll quickly speak on some of the activities you can do. Netracells is the most recent game mode added in the Whispers in the Wall update. You can gain Archon Shards, melee adapters as a reward for this activity. It is weekly and you can do 5 missions. Archon Hunts is another weekly activity of 3 missions with a guaranteed Archon Shard in the end. As you can see, Zariman and Khan weapons can quickly destroy the Archon. The other activity that you could participate is Eidolons in Cetus. With a strong amp and a good loadout, you can defeat multiple Eidolons in a single night. Eidolons drop Arcanes that are valuable and very useful for your arsenal. In this video I was using a beginner build to defeat the Eidolon, so stay tuned if you want a beginner's guide to defeating Eidolons. Another world boss, the Prophet Taker, is found on Fortuna. Prophet Taker is an excellent farm for credits. Again, I'm using a beginner build to defeat Prophet Taker, so like and subscribe if you want a beginner Prophet Taker build. So there you have it. That's the rough guide on player progression, what to do if you're unsure how to proceed, and what you can do if you're lost. This guide touched briefly on most of the systems in Warframe, but stay tuned for more guides that's more in depth into all the systems we described today. Hope you learned something from watching this video. Thanks for watching.